Okay, so here's what we're going for, all right? So if you can't already see it, notice the edges of the drawing. Notice that the leaf is not perfectly symmetrical on both sides, okay? My drawing is touching at least 3 sides of my frame. It is clearly a close-up of the leaf, which means we may not fit the entire thing in the frame, okay? Which is maybe nicer, actually. Notice that the center vein is not completely straight. The veins that come out from the sides are not all the same, okay? Some of them have other branches coming out of them, 2 or 3 or 4. Some of them may only have 1, like this one here. The veins are not a single line because this is supposed to be a close-up, all right? So this drawing is really probably about maybe 5 times bigger than the actual leaf. So everything about the leaf has to be about 5 times bigger, all right? Notice that I have only included the veins that are the ones that my brain and my eye notices first. And then I've looked again at those to make sure I just didn't turn them into single lines, okay? I did not include the teeny tiny veins in between each of these main veins, okay? It's a line drawing done in pencil, and I've made sure to include the details of the texture. So I'm using expressive line to tell the viewer about the details of the texture. The word details refers to very subtle changes. So for example, I could have just made like a zigzag line to represent that texture, which would have been a poor decision and not really the right thing to do, okay? Details is noticing, yes, that it is sort of a zigzaggy line, but that it's not even. It goes in different directions. Another detail is that this curves slightly. Another detail would be that this vein that comes from the center has about 3 branches coming off it, and this one doesn't, and it in fact attaches to another vein. Those are subtle details, okay? I'm showing you this so that you understand the expectation of the quality that I'm looking for and the looking, the seeing. Look hard at your objects. If you want to do a leaf because you feel confused and you want to sort of pause this video and follow along, you can do that, certainly. Okay? I'd like you to please find your own leaf if you can and just follow the instructions if you'd like to do that. I want to show you the lime again, okay? Because I want to continue to talk to you about the word details, okay? The texture that I'm looking at in the lime are the juice pods, like I said in the last video, okay? Now, are they exactly as seen? But no, I'm interpreting them as the artist, but I'm making sure that I draw them as texture and specific shapes, not little scribbles, okay? That's the texture I want you to notice. The details I want you to notice about something like this is the fact that the lime is not just a perfectly round circle. Notice how subtly it dips in between where each triangular section forms. Notice that this is a double line or a space where the rind is, and that in here, in between here, each of these triangular sections, which I'm not done with this drawing, not only does this bottom section sort of dip up around it in between those 2 triangular sections, but the line that was here as a single line in my original drawing, my map sort of, was a single line, and I'm now making all of these into double lines because really those areas do sort of dip up or inward toward the center, and they create almost like a double line here. Notice also another detail. This is not a little circle in the center, is it? It's a sort of oblong type shape, and all of the points of the triangles do not meet perfectly in the center, and then there's 2 little holes there. I bet in your brain we assume that many of the triangles all come together at their points, right? But that's not really what happens in a lemon or a lime or an orange. Notice your details, okay? Good luck.